And now, your review of the week that was. And we call it Week in Review. How original.
I'm gonna have to plant a patent leather pump right in your ass.
One last look in the rear view before we can move on. It's one final peek at October 24th, 2010.
Hey folks, how you doing? Comic Book Man here. Welcome once again to my video outhouse. It's time for Week in Review.
I told you that.
And this is the Week in Review for October the 24th, 2010. This is our look back at the week that just was. If you go to ShipShape for this week and you put this show together, you'll have a real good feel for what happened on the week of October the 24th, 2010.
Lest we forget the fallen.
Lest we forget the phone. Shipping this week, we had the big thing for me, at least as far as I was concerned, was Action Comics number 894, which featured Death from the Endless in the Vertigo universe being moved into the regular DC universe. This is part of DC's whole breaking down the walls. Vertigo is going to be in your chocolate, and DC is going to be in your peanut butter, and it's all going to be one big
delicious.
Happy fleet.
Look for Dan's review.
I love it.
Dan reviewed this
Yep.
on Video Outhouse on Sweet Talking Comics. So be sure to check out Dan's review of this. Dan, real quick, you thought this was a
Excellent book and a good addition to the DCU, and you should buy it already. You should own it already.
This I thought was very well written. I'm not going to fault the writing at all. I thought it was ultimately pointless, though. I think you could have done the same story with a different version of Death in the DC universe. You did not need this version of Death. You did not need to bring Vertigo's Death over into the DC universe. There's nothing in this story that needs this character to be in it. You could have made up a completely different character if you wanted to for the DCU. You could have even done Black Racer if you wanted to, which is mentioned actually in the story. But DC did it anyway, and that's the new state of the universe at DC.
Yep.
Also this week, we had JLA the 99 crossover.
Yeah.
Tesquil Comics.
Yeah.
Which I actually have down here at the store. I've got
Totally.
some. That's a Arab-based comic book company and group of characters. They showed up in this six issue crossover.
Six issue miniseries.
6 issue miniseries. Did you read this?
It's a hot mess.
It's a hot mess. Okay, that means you liked it.
There's interesting things to it, but ultimately it's this story where you wonder why these characters are interacting now, and there's no mention of like why they never coexisted before.
Yeah.
It was all right, you know what I mean? But hot mess nonetheless.
Hot mess. Okay.
Hot mess.
Over on the Marvel side,
Yeah.
Marvel Ultimate Mystery number 4 shipped.
Wrapped.
This is the end of this miniseries, which is going to lead into Ultimate Enemy. Is
Ultimate Doom. It's sandwiched
Doom.
between Ultimate Enemy, and Ultimate Doom. This is where you find out who is.
This is the piece of meat in the sandwich.
Yeah, this is who is the big bad that the Ultimate Enemy, so to speak.
Do you want to give it away?
The title of the third series gives it away. It's Ultimate Doom.
It's Doctor Doom.
But it's not Doctor Doom.
It's not
No.
Doctor Doom.
What?
What are you doing to me?
I'm not telling anymore.
Oh, okay. Anyway, how was the book?
Great. I mean, it's a Bendis book, so you get a lot of talky stuff, you get a lot of big action, and you get a huge cliffhanger at the end. Rafael Sandoval does the art.
Yes.
Great stuff. I'm really liking it. I'm pretty sure he does the art in the next series. He did the art in the previous one.
Okay. Also this week from Marvel, The Avengers ship. This wraps up Brian Michael Bendis' first story arc in this book here.
In the Avengers, yeah.
In the Avengers book.
And it is cool. And it alludes to a lot of future stuff that might happen.
Yes.
And I'm excited because it is John Romita Jr.
Yes.
drawing the crap out of everything. Brian Bendis writing the crap out of everybody. And it sets the stage for Red Hulk to show up in the next issue. So
That's right. Red Hulk is showing up next issue. Joining the Avengers, making the world a better place.
of course.
Of course.
Redder
Also,
place.
couple of odds and ends. These
Two creators to watch. Jonathan Mayberry with his continuation of the Doom War female Black Panther stuff. Really, really liking it. The art is going to be hit or miss with a lot of people. And then you got Dwayne Straczynski doing Black Widow. This is number what, 7? Black Widow number 7. First issue really blew my mind. Number 6, his first issue. This issue is even better. So I'm really, really enjoying these two creators. They are two to watch. These are 2 books to keep your eye on. This is leading into the Widowmaker series with Hawkeye and Mockingbird.
Okay. Indie Comics also shipped
Indie
this
Comics.
week. Indie Comics also shipped this week. We got a couple of books we want to mention. Hellboy Beast of Burden crossover shipped this week. Beast of Burden was a 3-issue miniseries by Evan Dorkin and his
Jill Thomas.
sweetheart, Jill Thomas. And they're crossing over with Hellboy.
Jill Thompson. I'm sorry, Jill.
Jill Thompson. How was this?
It was fun. And it's Beast of Burden, which I love. It's Hellboy, which tons of people love. And it's both of them smashing into each other.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Okay.
Art is phenomenal.
Also this week, Fear Agent ship. Fear Agent number 30. Now this is
Noteworthy because it's coming up on the end of the run of the book.
This is the last run of the book, last story arc in the thing, but it's not over with yet.
2 issues to go.
2 issues to
And
go.
then Rick Remender is Marvel exclusive.
From the Marvel exclusive. And finally, comic book wise,
Turf number 3 finally shipped. Everybody rejoice!
yay!
Gangsters, aliens, and vampires. If you're not reading it, you don't know what you're missing. And just because I said gangsters, aliens, and vampires, you still don't know what you're missing.
Needs monkeys.
Dan's review of Turf number 1 is, of course, on the store's website and at Video Outhouse.
And it's good.
Be sure to check it out. He loves the book.
Love it.
He loves the book.
Needs monkeys.
Okay, we got a couple of news items this week. Marvel introduced their Point One initiative this week. Now, what is the Point One initiative? Point One initiative, starting in February of 2011, every jumping on point that Marvel has for a book will be marked with a .1 in the number. Marvel's not changing the number of the books. So if Amazing Spider-Man, say 690 comes out and it's a jumping on point,
.1.
the number of that book will be Amazing Spider-Man 690.1.
That's a good idea.
So that it's flagged, so that you know that this is a jumping on point. Folks at home might not notice this, but I will, and it'll make things much easier for me for tagging with this Jump on here, which we put on the new rack every
wears
week
on his belt.
here at Alternate Reality. Also,
nice. I get that.
Also, yes.
Took me a second.
Ladies,
Don't
please.
break up.
Ladies, please inquire. Also, all the books that are jump on points that are .1 points are going to ship twice in that month, just to get you
Really?
going on the storyline. Yeah,
Wow.
it'll ship. So Amazing Spider-Man, say Amazing Spider-Man 690.1 ships that month. 691 will also ship later on in that same month.
Badass.
So there you go.
I think it's good for people that don't read comics.
Yeah.
I mean, people like me and you, and a lot of people at home know when the jumping on points are coming. They know
Well,
when the arcs
sorta,
are
kinda.
finishing. It's a good way to get people into newer comics that they haven't been reading, and it's a good way for people to walk into a comic book store, and if they figure out this new Dewey Decimal System that they've got going on, it would be a good way for people to try to figure out where they want to start. So I'm for it, but I don't think I need it.
It won't be that complicated. It's just going to be a .1 in the numbering, and the numbering will still count.
Should we stop railing on Marvel for doing #1 issues all over the place?
And in media news, a couple of items. Dark Knight Rises was now announced as the official title of the third Batman movie this week. Riddler will not be in it.
No, Chris Nolan says there will be no Riddler.
No Riddler. I thought for sure they were going to do Riddler with all the rumors and everything. But you know what? I think Catwoman's a much better choice. Not that they've announced that, but
I think they're going to go Killer Croc to counter Spider-Man Blizzard.
No, they're not going to go
No,
Killer
they're not.
Croc. No, he's been doing a stripped
King
down.
Tut?
He's been doing a
got-
stripped down version of Batman from the beginning. Easiest thing to do is go with
Catwoman,
Catwoman.
right.
You got all the male-female relationship stuff going on there between Batman and
Little
Catwoman.
romance,
You
yeah.
do tons of stuff with that. And also, one of the things that will not be happening in Batman 3 is no 3D.
Good decision. Good
They
decision. Good
ash-
decision.
for
they
president.
ash canned the 3D. They said, this is pointless. We don't need 3D. This movie's going to make a ton of money. It's only going to be distracting. So no 3D.
Yep.
Also this week in media news, Caprica was canceled by the Sci-Fi Channel. It was killed because of poor ratings, but Battlestar is not dead at Sci-Fi. Blood and Chrome is coming. That's the series or movie or whatever it is.
Mini-movie.
Mini-movie. It's coming
Served
up,
as a pilot.
which tells the story of a teenage 20-something Adama fighting in the Cylon Wars. First Cylon Wars.
Yep.
Way back when.
Yep.
Finally, one bit of wrestling news we want to mention. Triple H wrestled Alberto Del Rio on Fan Appreciation Night on October 30th. It's his first time back in the ring ever since he went on the shelf about 8 months ago. He's been out campaigning for Linda all this time, who is, of course, running for Senate in Connecticut.
Get outta here.
Election day is tomorrow. Election day is tomorrow
us.
from the time we're doing this. So by the time you watch this, it will be a over and done thing, and I'm betting she's going to lose.
The whole
but-
state will be wrestling.
the whole state will be wrestling. Last thing we want to talk about is Walking Dead.
Yeah,
Walking Dead premiered on AMC.
it did.
Last night, our time.
Missed it a
I watched it. He watched it.
Yep.
What'd you think?
Thought it was phenomenal. Great adaptation of the series. If you're into zombies or you're into the comic book zombies or that comic book in particular, you're going to really like it. If you're not into zombies, you're not into comic books or comic book zombies, you're still going to like it because it was riveting entertainment.
Was riveting entertainment.
Riveting entertainment.
Last night's movie more or less takes up the first issue plus a couple of pages
Yeah,
from
issue
the
and a half.
original series. Maybe issue and a half. I really liked it. I watched it last night. I'm sort of familiar with Walking Dead. I'm not a big Walking Dead fan. Read the first couple issues way back when and never really dipped my toes back in the pool. Zombies do not do it for me. I know a lot of zombie folks out there. Zombies are wonderful. I'm not dissing zombies. But the problem, I'm watching this thing, and the problem I had with it, and not that it's not good, but the problem I have with it is every zombie film, you always have got to have, I've got to kill my wife, but I loved her, but she's going to eat me, and I can't kill her, and I'm all broken up inside. And,
Which is technically not a point from the comic.
No, but that stuff is always in zombie movies, and it's
yeah.
always in zombie comics at some point. I love you,
It has to be emotionally gripping.
In Marvel Zombies, there were a couple of scenes where they did that, where like Peter's coming after Mary Jane. Peter, I love you, and he eats her anyway. I really don't need the emotional turmoil of stuff like that in my life. But what the hell?
I dig it.
It was tons of fun. The other thing that I thought was a little odd was the whole 28 days later thing, which I know goes back to the comic.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole 28 days later thing of he wakes up and the whole world has gone to hell.
Yep.
Which is fine in some levels because it allows you to get right into the story
Yep.
and what's going on. But at the same time, you also get to neatly skip over how any of this happened in the first place and what the hell caused all this to begin with.
That's the point. We get in and we're thrust right into a very, very dangerous
At some point, you have to address that, though.
But if the characters don't know, sometimes it's better that you don't know.
Yeah,
Right. Works
Well,
out
that
like
puts you,
Lost. That's what made Lost. Everything.
that puts you in the driver's seat though with the main character who wakes up because you're discovering
You
it
get to
along
relate
with him.
exactly right
so
down with him,
so
yeah.
you identify with him even more.
Works
so.
out, I think.
Okay, so Walking Dead was very good though. Walking Dead was very good.
I look forward to future episodes.
Me too.
How many was 6? 8?
6.
6.
In the first season, then they're supposed to do another
13,
6 or 13 or something.
13.
They've already been greenlit for the second season.
Good. All right.
And that's it. We're done. We're finished. We're out of here. We got no more weekend review, but you can go to the store's website and read other weekend reviews or see other weekend reviews.
God bless
And of course,
America.
Sarah will tell you where that is.
She always does.
www.myalternatereality.com.
So go to the store's website, check it all out. Until next time, this is Comic Book Man
Sweet Dan Sweet.
saying bye.
Nice job.